How's that, Steve?
Yeah, that's
It's fine.
that's good.
It's up to you guys. Obviously, I didn't pay for this picture. Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. And good morning, fellow bipedal apes. And welcome to Human Origins, Part 1. Today is going to be a lot of background. Some of you guys, probably half the class, I'll be going too slow, another half I'll be going too fast, and that's what I'm shooting for. So nobody's happy. But,
we're happy we're here with you.
yeah, well, I'm happy. The last time I was in this room was 2 years ago. It was the last time I did an in-person class on the other side. And so I'm so happy to not be on Zoom. I did about 3 or 4 Zoom classes. I am not a big fan, or a little fan, or any other sort of a fan. I feel like I need to see you guys out there so you can ask questions as they come up. And also I can tell if somebody's getting something, if I need to explain more or what. So,
Well, we go to sleep, you can see us.
yeah, and you go to sleep, I can hit you with something. Yeah, so just shout out if you have any questions. I mean, you can raise your hand, but sometimes I don't notice that. So that's so fun. I said that I know my paleontology, but this was actually the last paleoanthropology course I took. It was 42 years ago. This is my textbook. Everything was beautiful and easy in a nice linear fashion. Everybody loved paleoanthropology. We had Lucy, we had Peking Man, and Java Man, and killer apes, and the Leaky clan, Piltdown hoax, all of that good stuff. And we had this beautiful linear evolutionary line heading straight for Homo sapiens. This is actually in a book I grew up with. My father just showed it to me a couple days ago because I had already downloaded this picture. This is the one I had growing up with this same, the very same thing there. It was, it's amazing. 1965, this was the belief about human evolution, and to me, it reminds me of, there's a thing called the Great Chain of Being, where their beings get higher, and then humans are just under God. And so I think this is just kind of that same mentality, and it's simple and sexy and flattering, but wrong. Well, it's not so popular now, and you can see why. I mean, look at, there's confusing phylogenetics, there's thousands of fossils, there's like 6 times more than when I was taking this, and then where are the connections? Who evolved from who? And wait, there could be 7 to 10 different bipedal apes all living at the same time? This just doesn't fit what we're expecting. And another problem I see with it is there's nobody to simplify it. We don't have a Carl Sagan or a David Attenborough to come out into the public sphere. So explaining something at a non-PhD level takes a little bit of finesse, and I don't know if I'm going to succeed. First of all, because I don't have a PhD in paleoanthropology, and it would take a semester and require prerequisites, etc. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and out between the forest and the trees to try and get a picture of what I think is an amazing story of our origins. And I want to start right here. I made my wife Denise take that picture of me in the Yucatan Peninsula just a couple of weeks ago, where I was fulfilling one of my lifetime bucket list goals. Any guesses what that goal was? Yeah.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Oh boy, not too bad. And here is hint number 2. It caused a ring of things called cenotes or sinkholes in this perimeter. That's where I am in this picture. And then she's already answered it. Hint number 3. Actually, that's not really a hint. That's just one of those amazing cenotes. We were just there for 3 weeks, and we spent way too much time swimming in cenotes. That's my wife Denise is in that picture. So luckily somebody was here to take this picture. This is a pretty unlikely happening between the Sheikh Shaloub asteroid. And that town I was in is a little town called Sheikh Shaloub. Most people in town don't even know what it's about. But the chances that this rock and our pale blue dot, that they would intersect 66 million years ago. You can imagine 2 people in a duel shooting. Imagine both of their bullets hitting in the middle. It is much less likely than that. So here we had, this thing was 10 kilometers in diameter. It would reach from Silver City all the way up to my house in Pinos Altos. 34 billion tons, flying at 27,000 miles per hour. This hypothesis that this is what wiped out the dinosaurs was made in 1970. It didn't become scientific consensus till 2010. Science moves a little slow sometimes, and a theme of this class is going to be, it was just identified. It was not in one of Jupiter's asteroids. It actually was in the Oort belt, and it was pulled out by Jupiter's gravity. This was just January 20th, 2022. So up-to-date information in this class.
Wow.
So we had this Big Bang on the Earth, resulting in this, a hot, hellish landscape that lasted anywhere between weeks and months, leaving this. And this, a nuclear winter that might have lasted 10 years, blocking out the sun, stopping photosynthesis, and wiping out 75% of species, including all life over 25 kilograms. But of course, there's always an exception. The leatherback turtle survived this, as did I think a couple crocodilians. So, what does this have to do with us? How is this a good thing for us? This, the age of us, the milk makers. We survived, and not only that, but at 65.9, just 100,000 years after Sheikh Shaloub asteroid, we had these guys, these forward eye looking, tree climbing, fruit eating ancestors to the primates. And they strive. And when did they discover this guy? March in 2021 in Hells Creek Formation in northeastern Montana. So again, while we're sitting here in our COVID winter, a lot of stuff, especially in paleoanthropology, because they can't go dig for fossils, so they sit and start doing the boring part, which is analysis. We've got a lot of good information just coming out in the last 2 years. And here's a sub-theme. 2021 was huge in human origins, and I have to, just because this is so incredible, I have to put this in here. This happened right here in New Mexico. While we're sitting on the couch, this thing was published, this amazing footprints that are found in White Sands, New Mexico. That the most amazing thing about them is we always thought that humans came over to the New World over the Bering Lands Bridge about 13,000 years ago. That's just, we never found anything older than that. And all of a sudden we find these, and they've checked and rechecked, and they are at 23,000 years old, which means that was not after the last ice age, that was before it. So these footprints included, besides human, mammoth, saber-toothed cat, dire wolf, camel, and they're actually, they think that there's this giant sloth and humans were interacting, like the sloths were trying to escape the humans, and so that's pretty cool. So I could have done this whole presentation on just information since COVID struck, and it would be amazing. The problem for me is I keep reading the most recent science news reports, and it's hard for me to get back on track. I'm an easily distracted person. So, but hopefully, the end of next time, I'll talk more about these things that just happened in 2021. So, why should we care about human origins? To me, I want to understand my place in nature. We've had two great revolutions as far as finally understanding how we fit into the cosmos. The first one was the Copernican revolution. This guy named Ptolemy in the 1st century easily came to the conclusion that we were the center of the universe, since obviously all the planets, the moon, the sun, and everything went around us every day. Well, a Polish astronomer named Nicholas Copernicus in 1543 said, nope, guess what? It looks like we're not the center of the universe. In fact, we're just another planet going around the sun, which knocked us right out of our place. Now this thing here, obviously the religious bureaucracy in Europe did not like that. Luckily for Copernicus, he died right after he published. But about 90 years later, a guy named Galileo, he published it, and he actually got life imprisonment. We are just another part of the animal kingdom. And this, actually, within a couple of years, this was very, it was accepted by the entire, because they had been looking for an explanation for all this for so many years, and finally Darwin came up with a good answer. So this just stimulated our curiosity. But why are you guys interested in human evolution? For me, I question everything. Can evolution explain Putin and the Ukraine? Can it explain our obsession with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West?
Evolution.
What about why we walk on our back legs, or what happened to our body fur? Why our brains are so damn big? Can it explain why we love, or why we kill, like out here in front of JD's the other day? Or why we build rocket ships to the moon and send out the Webb telescope? And on a personal note, why a guy with a beautiful wife and trails right out of his backyard will spend hundreds of hours researching for 20 people that he doesn't even know, without earning a penny in the process. Well, maybe we'll come. Yeah, you have an answer?
Humans are curious.
Humans are curious. That's a good one, and it's a deep.
It's a shallow one, but it's
It's not. It explains a lot of things. We talk about primates. We'll get more into that. All right. There are practical reasons, and you guys, some of you guys have taken. Fred Fox had a course on evolutionary medicine. It's something he's into. It was a great class, a little technical. Also, I did a class on this called the Stone Age Present, and